All right, here you have question 4, and let's see what it asks of us to do. Given the following triangles, write all combinations of triangle congruency statement for the diagram. All right, so here we have two congruent triangles, and so we can tell they're congruent because of the angles and the sides. So yeah. So let's start with R. So let me state this. So there are three angles, and so since there are three angles, we see that there are two ways to go about it. So that means each angle is going to be able to start in two different ways. So that means there are going to be 6 total different ways. Yeah. So let's see. If we start with R here, for an example, RST, triangle RST, that is. So that means I went from R down to S over to T. And so another thing we need to pay attention to while we're doing this, because we're going to try and find the congruent one for the other triangle, is the angle. So we see this angle has 2 lines going through. This one only has 1. This one also only has 1 though. But we're going to have to find out like which angle to start from on this other triangle. And so we know not to start at E because this one has 2. And so how do we know whether to start at D or F or not? Well, we know how to start. We know that we're going to start at F because it is acute. As we see here, this is starting to lean towards obtuse, and this is a clear acute. This is a clear acute, and this is starting to lead more towards obtuse. We also see that angle D, is in between angle F and angle E, and angle T is in between angle R and angle S, and we want to start at this, the outer one. So we're going to start at F. All right. So if we start at F, now how do we find out which way do we want to go? Do we want to go to F to D to E, or do we want to go to F to E to D? And so we figure this out by looking at the sides. We went down a side that has 2 lines through it. And so we have to find the congruent side on the other triangle, which has 2 sides in it. And that looks to be F to E. So here, RST, triangle RST, is congruent to triangle FED. And so that's one of the ways to do it. And the other way to do it is obviously to go through go through to FDE now. So triangle RTS should be equal to triangle FDE, and here we have that. And so you're going to go through each angle doing this, going through both ways. So like D, you're going to go through D, F, E, or you're going to go through D, E, F, and you can tell the congruency due to these lines and the angle, like the lines through these lines and then the angles, because you have 3 lines, so you know that this line is congruent to this line. And you're just going to go through each angle going about that.